So today, don't fix yourself. And 5 little nuggets of wisdom to counteract the idea, the lie, that you or we are broken. And the last one's the key. Hey there, I'm Steve. I was a millionaire and I had it all and I walked away from it because I just wanted to not get into the trap of wealth and the rat race and consumption and accumulation of stuff. I was interested in something a little bit deeper, which is how to be happy in life. Some things I say may upset you. Some may really make you think, and some may just even change your life. So if you've got the cojones to hear it, the raw and blunt truth, then you're gonna like this. So stick with me, let's jump in. So the first thing I wanna jump into right away is that, and it's something that I dealt with and had to sort of shift my mind around as well, is because I'm someone who is like about self-improvement and about being better and about being the best person I can be. But what I've come to realize is that self-improvement is literally the wrong word. And that of all the like psychological studies, wisdom studies, all that stuff that I've jumped into over the last 20 years, what I've discovered is that it's not about improving yourself. It's about releasing all of the garbage layers that have accumulated on you back to your core perfect self. So you don't need to fix yourself because you're not broken. Think about when you're a little baby or when you see babies. What is wrong with a baby? Nothing. They're perfect. They're perfect little open beings, fragile and vulnerable. You're almost like a raw canvas. You're like a perfect blank piece of paper. The problem happens when your family and your environment lump stuff on there. And I'm not saying your family's bad. I'm saying that your family, your parents are going to give you good things, but they're also going to give you things that are not necessarily helpful. They're also going to influence you in a way to act. And then your environment and society is also going to lump on these ways to act and come at you with all these things. And what happens with you is before you're even emotionally intelligent, you are trying to deal with all of these various things hitting you at one time. So you create modes of operation to protect yourself, and they're based on your like core personality that creates these things so that they're like, oh my God, I gotta be safe from this and I gotta be safe from that. Oh, I gotta change the way that I operate from this. Oh, I gotta bury that behavior because society doesn't accept it. And you start to create this personality that is on top of your core personality. And so essentially the way to reframe this sort of self-improvement idea is to go, no, I'm good at the core. At the core, I'm perfect. And if I can just peel back these layers that I've put on and get back to that, then I'm going to be able to be a much more happy, calm human in society. The other problem with the extreme of this idea of being broken or something that's wrong with us or that we have to fix something, and I'm going to go at one religion in particular, which says that every human has original sin, and it's a sin that you can't get rid of. And I think it's not a healthy idea in any sort of respect if you want to be able to accept yourself and be happy and live a life that feels good at all. Because if you think that there's something inherently wrong with you that you can't get rid of, that's just a horrible mindset to have. And it's not true. This was just created by the people that invented this religion in order to control people, to be honest. And so while there are good things about this religion, and I'll say the good things about this religion is the dude named Jesus was the good part of that religion. Jesus was like a good dude. He's the original hippie. And so a lot of things that he had to say were things that were like, you should accept people for who they are, not judge them, because we all do things that are wrong. But in his essential teachings, it was be good to others, be good to yourself. But we'll get into more of that a little bit later. So really, the first thing to do is to stop treating yourself like a problem that you have to fix. Accept that they just might be layers that have attached to you over your life in order to protect yourself. Number 2, and this one's a tough one for me. I've always struggled with this. That is acceptance over force. In other words, accepting that you will make mistakes. Accepting that you will do things that are not helpful to you and that may potentially cause some harm in relationships. But these are things that you can control and you can adjust if you have, the proper information, the proper skills, that sort of thing. And then you can release these and let them go. But they're not reasons to, beat yourself up and to feel bad about yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. And in our society, especially now with the internet, there are a lot of people out there trying to destroy people because they make mistakes. But if you allow yourself to be a human and to make mistakes and to be able to move on from those and not attach those to yourself and make you think that you're a bad person, then you're going to be much better along in life. And don't allow others to do it either. Like, to a certain extent, who cares what they think? You can make mistakes, you apologize, and then you move on, because we all do them. We all have these layers that have attached. We all have issues. So accepting yourself and not forcing yourself to be good or to be right in every situation. And third is purpose, not perfection. And you might think, oh, you just said that. But no, what I mean by that is, as Viktor Frankl would say, and even as Nietzsche would say before that, your why and your purpose is way more important than doing things perfectly. It's better to be on your path, to know who you are, to find your passions. That's going to give you the real rewards in life, not being perfect at something. Number 4, and that is Rumi said something like, the wound is where the light gets in. So in other words, this stuff that I call the baggage that gets accumulated on us, the things that harm us, the protecting mechanisms, all of these things, all of these like wounds of living that every human has, that's where the healing gets in. And that's what he means. If you move towards those wounds, and I used to just try and control everything. And by trying to control it and hold things down, I actually made it worse. But by going at those and releasing them and trying to understand, and for me, anger was a big one, trying to understand where the anger came from, where the resentment came from, where the bitterness came from, and trying to heal those wounds actually made it easier for me to shed I call it the garbage, shed the garbage that I accumulated on my life and get back to that core person that's, optimistic and that's smiling and enjoys life, cares about others, doesn't attack people, and all of those good-natured things that are at my core that have been buried by some of these wounds. And the last one, I'm going to rearrange one that I put in another video, which is Jesus is saying, treat others as you would treat yourself. We all know what that is when we talk about treating others with kindness, with respect, with care, with concern. Let's flip that. Treating yourself like you would treat others. Treating yourself with kindness, treating yourself with care, treating yourself with patience, and not the inner dialogue of beating yourself up and telling yourself that you're broken or that you're worthless or that you're no good or that other people are better than you. All of these things are ways that you wouldn't want to treat others. You want to start to treat yourself that way as well. And then you're going to lift some of this baggage and heal some of these wounds in your life as well. So which one of these lands for you? Love to hear it. Drop it in the comments, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you for your attention.